Last time on Dragon Ball Super, Zamasu and Black merge to create some sort of Super Zamasu guy god thing. Then shit gets a little end of Eva, and Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks get completely fucking wrecked. Pretty much synopsis end. So I know a lot of people were really looking forward to me tearing this episode apart, apparently, because every single comment I have got about, like, this episode and my review for it has just been, oh man, can't wait for your rant, oh man, can't wait for you to tear apart this episode, and all I can wonder is, why? What is wrong with you people? Like, this was a good episode. Like, you know, like, I don't, if you guys think I'm just gonna tear apart every single episode of the show, you really have no understanding of me, my history with this franchise, and what I expect out of it. I have had plenty of episodes that I have said good things about, and I think this is a really, really good goddamn episode. In fact, this is a complete 180 from last week. Like, last week was a brilliant representation of everything I hate in an episode of any fucking show. This episode was a brilliant fucking representation of just how you do all that fucking shit right. This is like the biggest 180 in like terms of quality since like episodes 5 and 6 of Super, where 5 was a complete, utter piece of shit clusterfuck, and then 6 comes along and it's this beautifully directed, beautifully storyboarded, atmospheric fucking goddamn masterpiece. Like, yeah, it's that level of goddamn, this is night and day, people. And now more so than usual, I feel the need to really defend my stance on, like, why I love an episode. Usually I just go, oh yeah, it's pretty surface level, like the things that made this episode great. It's pretty much all there on the surface. Here, because this episode seems to be so divisive, I feel like I really need to, like, get on my soapbox, make a stand, and really hammer my points home. So this episode's getting the full deconstructive treatment from beginning to end, just going over just why this is such a great fucking episode and why everything in it works so well. And also going over a few little minor nitpicks, but once again, nitpicks, not horrible, crippling fucking issues to the overall narrative. The first thing I want to bring up is the goddamn animation. A lot of people keep reaming on the animation for this episode, and I do not fucking get it. Like, this is a great looking episode. I keep hearing people like, oh, the animation looks sloppy and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. This is a different art style. There's a difference between, like, you know, bad animation and a different style of animation. This, you know, like, it has a more minimalist, bouncy, fluid look. I've complimented this art style in the past. I really like it. I think it works fairly well for Dragon Ball and their kind of action sequences. It gives a different vibe and feel to the weight of the action. Attacks feel massive and destructive, and it really just, you know, it does a great job of conveying, like, you know, the action and just, once again, like, that destructive nature of these characters' attacks. So animation-wise, I think this episode looks great. You know, if you think this episode looks bad, I recommend you don't watch any of the late Gainax stuff, anything from Studio Trigger, don't watch a single Mamoru Hosoda film. You'll probably think all those look like shit too, and you're absolutely wrong for it. Now for the actual events of this episode, the opening scene really conveys a lot of tension in the moment, because you see this majestic fused being in the fucking sky, you don't know what else is going to happen. Next you know, he pops a goddamn halo, and then he just starts arcing lightning. And then Goku and Vegeta, they're both, you know, holding it back with a ki blast, you know, telling, you know, Goku, or telling Trunks and to get Bulma and Mai the fuck out of there, while they hold Zamasu back, and it's a great fucking moment. And then Zamasu just completely wrecks their shit the very next scene later. Actually, not even like next scene, but next cut of animation later, he just starts lobbing red blades of energy, blowing them the fuck up, dropping their asses like fucking paperweights. Then we cut to the underground, you know, survival bunker with the last of humanity. You know, like, the stuff's caving in on them from Zamasu's destructive attacks. And I feel like this scene's really important. We're seeing, like, you know, what kind of destructive effects, like, these kind of clashing powers have on the people around them. Like what this shit feels like to normal humans. And just how completely fucked they feel in this moment. And then this just leads to a sequence of great fucking moments. The one guy running out of, you know, the subway only to get fucking obliterated. Yajirobe's big hero moment of like, no, let me go and check to make sure, you know, it's safe for everyone else to go out there. And of course, you know, he kind of, you know, he backpedals a little bit like, oh shit, I have to actually do this now. But he does it. He sacks up, and he has his tiny hero moment. Let me just say, the inclusion of Yajirobe, when I first saw him in this arc, I was like, oh, come on, really? Fucking Yajirobe, he's here. You're just gonna fucking shoehorn. But, oh my god, he has been used to fucking brilliant effect. Yajirobe has not been this good in Dragon Ball since the Piccolo Daimao arc. Actually, no, I take that back. Since the Saiyan arc. He was great in the Saiyan arc, too. He had his moment there. So, yeah, this is the best he's ever been since the Saiyan arc. Then whenever the people get up, like, onto the streets, they see, Zamasu in the sky and, all the destruction he's wreaking on the city. And just, like, that one kid goes, like, this is no god. A god would never do something like this. And then you have, like, the military, like, what's left of them is just on the ground, just feeling hopeless and despair. Just realizing how powerless they really are. Like, just, they can't help themselves. Right now, they have to put their faith in these people that have come to help them. And if they can't do it, that's it. That's it. That's endgame. It's over. And it really, once again, just conveys to the audience just how hopeless their situation is. And then the scene is beautifully capped off by Yajirobe saying, son, like, we need you to do this, for these people, for these children, for this world. Like, I know you can do this. And it's a great fucking moment. Like, even though he's not saying it to Goku directly, it's like he's had that history with Goku. They've had this friendship. They've known each other. And this is Yajirobe having this really very grounded human moment where, he is placing his faith in everything in Goku. If you can't do this, we're dead. You are all we have left. Then the scene cuts back to Goku, Vegeta, Gowasu, and Kaioshin, and they're just talking about just how amazingly powerful Zamasu is now, and just really building him up as this all-powerful, immortal, destructive force of nature, this completely unstoppable goddamn being. Once again, just building up that tension, building up the hype for, like, when they start clashing again. Then we cut to Trunks and Mai. They have a moment where Trunks is going to go out there and try to do his best. He gives them the last 2 senzu. And this scene is fairly important because, one, we get to see Trunks and Mai share at least one more moment together before the big final climactic battle. We find out that there are 2 senzu left. Like, we know exactly how many they have now. And we now know that Trunks is, leaving them to go join the fight again. Also, this scene, once again, like, it kind of helps break things up a little bit. Instead of it just being, the Goku and Vegeta show, it is kind of, it is kind of spacing these moments out, where it's like, Goku Vegeta, the humans, Goku Vegeta, Trunks and Mai, Goku Vegeta. It's breaking it up, so it's not just one continuous scene of just these 2 characters having this fight. And it does so by still keeping, like, the things it's cutting away to are characters who are close by, who aren't far from the action. So it's not breaking the tension of a scene. It's not like in Dragon Ball Z where, you'd be on Planet Namek, Goku having this big epic fight for his life, and then it would just cut to Kame House and, cute fun scene, and then it would jump back to the intense action of Goku getting the shit kicked out of him by Frieza. It's nothing like that. Like, they're still all localized in the same spot. Everyone is all kind of invested in the exact same moment. So every scene is tonally consistent with the last one. No matter how many times they break away from the Goku Vegeta action, it's always the characters who are nearby the action and are, personally invested in what's going on at that moment with them. So once again, like I said, it keeps tonal consistency throughout. Now, after the Trunks Mai scene, we cut back to Zamasu. He's talking shit like he has been this entire episode. And this is actually going to be really important for a point I'm going to make later. So put a pin in that. The Zamasu shit talking is actually going to be relevant to something I have to say later on in this review. And this leads to Vegeta launching an attack, has absolutely no effect. Zamasu's just like, what the fuck was that shit? And he just gets pissed and he just, creates like this crazy ass celestial god angel thing from fucking energy that starts arcing lightning everywhere. And then once again, it cuts away, shows Zamasu's devastation, the people running for their lives, Trunks coming to save them. And like I said, it's breaking up the action of Goku and Vegeta directly, and it's always cutting away to characters who are, once again, like, invested in what's going on, because, they're not far from the action, and people who are being directly affected by the devastation and actions that are happening between these 3 massively powerful characters. Then we cut back to the action. Goku and Vegeta, they go in to destroy the energy angel monster thing to go deck Zamasu, and he just, with no effort, just catches both their fists, crushes their hands, slams them together, and throws them back on the goddamn ground like the fucking bitches that they are. Trunks shows up, does his big epic ass stupid fucking transformation that we'll never get a fucking explanation from, but whatever, that's not something I'm holding against this episode. It's something that should have been explained a long time ago. So it's showing up this time, and any other future times is not the fault of those episodes. It should have been explained already. So Trunks transforms, he gets his ass kicked, they're completely fucked, and then Zamasu goes for like this big energy ball attack, and Trunks just, in his big goddamn hero moment, fires a Gariko, and then Vegeta steps in, fires one of his own, and yes, it is the father-son Gariko moment, and it's fucking awesome. And like, I'm not like, that big into just completely shameless fan service, but god damn it, that was a moment that fucking worked. Because I feel like sometimes the series panders a little too much to Vegeta fans. This is a moment that fucking nails it. Because one, not only is it a Vegeta moment, but it's a Trunks moment at the same time. Two, it harkens back to a scene from the Cell games, the big finale there. And it acts as kind of this emotionally connective scene between father and son. And it's something that we, like a father and son combo that we don't see that often. Because, whenever Future Trunks came back the first time, they didn't really share moments. This time around, Vegeta trains Trunks, that's all we really got. We've never really had, like, a great moment between those two. I mean, hell, like the fucking Zamasu Black fight, Vegeta got stabbed originally, and it was Goku and Trunks teaming up instead. Here we get to have the Vegeta-Trunks team up in this big, epic fucking beam struggle. And by the way, it's an epic fucking beam struggle, too. Something that I've had an issue with in Dragon Ball Super is that it sucks at fucking beam battles. Like, they did it in the Battle of Gods arc, it looked like shit, it was fucking boring as hell. They did it in the Resurrection F arc, it was drawn out and boring as hell. Like, the fucking attacks had, like, no weight or energy to them, it was just bland and boring. This felt like a goddamn struggle. Two characters, or I guess in this case, three characters, just clashing energy, the ground shaking, energy arcing everywhere. Like, you feel the weight and the power that these characters are wielding in this moment. It fucking works. They nailed it. And then in the first time in this entire episode, they finally kind of get like a one-upsmanship moment on Zamasu where they actually push his blast back at him. Doesn't do jack shit to him, but it is enough to make him really fucking angry. And then, this leads to Vegeta taking a shot from Zamasu, to protect Trunks. Another fantastic scene, because once again, it shows that, that's his son. Vegeta's willing to sacrifice himself for his son. Because, I mean, they could have easily done another Cell Games throwback and had Trunks get blasted and Vegeta have a rage-out moment or something. But no, instead, this is Vegeta completely in a moment of self-sacrifice, jumping in front of an attack that he really can't take and getting dropped like a bitch. It was beautiful, it was powerful, it was emotional, it goddamn worked. And then the episode ends on a big cliffhanger beam battle between Goku and Zamasu. Whatever on that last part. So that wraps up everything that actually happened in this episode, event by event by event. And, like, once again, like I brought up, it's extremely well paced. It never gives us too much of the Goku Vegeta action. It knows when to break it up. It knows how to break it up. It doesn't give us any tonally conflicting scenes or any kind of weird, jumbly, messy moments. It's just well structured, well organized. The action sequences look fantastic. The character moments, like the little bits of dialogue between our characters, is fucking fantastic throughout. The father-son Gariko is just one of the big mark-out moments of this entire franchise. Now, the criticism I keep hearing about this episode is the power scaling. But Zia, what about the power scaling? And I say, what the fuck about it? Like, at no point did I feel like power scaling was really an issue in this episode. We have two characters who are completely fucked. We have a character who is just nonchalantly blasting the shit out of them, just arcing lightning and fucking energy blasts and fucking red energy spikes that explode when they hit the ground. Like, he's barely putting up a fight against these guys and just completely dominating them throughout the entire goddamn episode. Now, remember when I said that, like, Zamasu being a shit talker is really important? Like, it is. Like he talks shit this entire episode. Why? Because he's overly confident. He's immortal. He's all-powerful. He has nothing to fear. So, no, he doesn't have to take this fight seriously at all. And at no point does he really look like he's taking it seriously. The only time, you ever really feel like, he might have, struggled a little bit is during, the father-son Garako moment. And that feels less like he's struggling and more like he was surprised in that moment. Like, he's just like, oh yeah, you fucking worthless. Whoa, what the hell? And pff, it gets blasted back at him. And he's just like, okay, now I'm goddamn angry. Then he stops fucking around a little bit. Like, he's still, I mean, if he really wanted to just, kill them, he could. Like, you get this feeling that he could just walk up and shove his thumb through their forehead and just crush their skulls. But he's not going to do that because, it's kind of beneath him. Also, another reason why I'm fine with the Garako moment is that it's a single moment. It is a singular moment in this episode where our two of our heroes combine their power and just one all-out fucking onslaught of energy to momentarily get the one-ups, to gain a one-up on the opponent, which still ends up doing absolutely nothing to him. And it's not like this episode wasn't filled with, like, what should have normally been big hero moments for Dragon Ball Z, like Goku and Vegeta team up to, like, deflect lightning and stuff, and what happens right after that? They get fucking blasted by these red energy blades and dropped like fucking rocks. Vegeta launches a series of fucking energy blasts, blasting the shit out of Zamasu. The smoke clears and Zamasu drops him and Goku like fucking nothing after creating this big energy angel thing. Goku and Vegeta, through sheer will and determination, punch through the angel thing. And what happens? Zamasu just grabs both their hands like they're nothing, smacks them together and throws them into the fucking ground like fucking trash. Trunks transforms in a moment of pure rage and anger and determination and gets the shit kicked out of him. It is these normally in Dragon Ball Z would be like big fucking like, this is it. This is where the hero is going to stand up and kick the shit out. No, he gets dropped. Over and over and over again. So yeah, Zamasu in this moment, he's feeling the absolute levels of smug right now. So yeah, him letting down his guard and getting blasted back by his own fucking attack, I'm fine with, especially because it's like that shonen moment of pure grit and determination overcoming an opponent in a singular moment. That's all it was. It's not like, Vegeta got angry because Trunks was hurt, and then, he just starts actually landing hits on Zamasu and, starts showing, like, physical damage to him. No, it was nothing like that. It's not like that fucking Goku moment from episodes ago. This feels like a completely different kind of moment. And once again, even that one moment, it leads up to jack shit being wrong with Zamasu, and then Zamasu fucking just drops Vegeta like he's nothing. The only real criticism I could have about, power scaling is whenever Goku steps up with his big Kamehameha, and he has a fucking beam struggle, which really just feels like an end-of-episode cliffhanger. We'll see how that plays out, but really, however that plays out, that falls on the sins of the next episode. If Goku somehow overcomes Zamasu in that moment, that's gonna fall in the next episode. If he gets fucking trashed, like he should, then that'll be a benefit to the next episode. Him just, clashing with Zamasu in this beam battle isn't inherently bad, even if it shows him pushing back the attack for a split second before it cut away. Now, like I said, there are some minor criticisms, some little teeny nitpicky things I could bring up. First off, the thing I want to bring up is there's a tiny continuity issue in the very beginning when they're deflecting that arc lightning shit to protect Bulma, Trunks, and Mai. It shows like them blocking that. Hard cut to Zamasu just being like aggravated, and then he throws the red blades at him. Cut back to Goku and Vegeta. They're no longer blocking that arc lightning. It's like they've already had finished deflecting it. We never actually see them finish deflecting it. We never see the end result of that attack. So to have it just cut from Goku and Vegeta deflecting a blast to Zamasu just standing there and throwing another attack, and then them having already dealt with the first attack and then getting hit by the second one, that was some really messy continuity, especially when the next scene is the humans coming up out of the subway, and that one guy gets hit by like some purple arc lightning, and it's like, well, he already did the arc lightning thing earlier. I feel like, if you shuffle some of those scenes around a little bit, it would work a bit better. But, whatever. It's not, like, horribly detrimental to the episode. But it is just one of those things worth mentioning. Like I said, it's just a tiny little continuity issue that, kind of is in the same vein as the last episode, but it's so minuscule. It is a blink and you'll miss it thing. Hell, I missed it the first time around. I didn't catch it until the second go-around. And I doubt most other people will ever fucking notice it either. The other little tiny minor nitpick thing is whenever they were, like, punching through the energy angel thing, like, I'm fine with Zamasu just pulling out this fucking energy angel. Like, he's a celestial god being that's fucking immortal. Whatever. Anything he pulls right now is totally legit. And so he friggin' manifests this angel out of energy that's arcing lightning. Sure, why not? I'm down with that. But whenever they're, like, punching through it, and then, like, they shatter that crystal that's inside of it, and then, like, the thing disperses, that was kind of weird. I don't understand what the hell the crystal was supposed to represent. Like, I don't know what was going on there, why there was a crystal in the center. Like, I, up until this point, just assumed that he had just manifested his ki in the form of a giant angel that was arcing lightning. So that was kind of weird that he had this weird crystal thing. I don't get what that was about. Like, it doesn't take me out of the episode, but it was just that kind of thing that made me go, why'd you have a... whatever. And then just kind of moved on with it. It's completely unexplained. Not sure why that was there. I feel like if they had just, punched their way through him and just, blown up the angel from the inside and then punched Zamasu, it would have probably worked a bit better. But, once again, it is such a minor, minuscule fucking detail that I just cannot care. And that's the thing, like the two issues I have with this episode are so absolutely minuscule, they don't mean jack shit to me. They are just the most nitpicky of nitpicky things that I could ever fucking bring up. And once again, like I said, the animation I thought was perfectly fine. I really like that style. You don't, that's fine. To say it's bad is, I would say, factually fucking wrong. But whatever, if you don't like it, that's fine. I think it looks great. Differing opinions, different strokes for different folks. As for the pace of this episode, I thought it was fucking amazing. I already went through. There's a reason I went through bit by bit to explain why I thought the pace and why the structure works so well in this episode. And the power scaling issue, I don't think is an issue. It never felt like, oh, well, yeah, like fucking Merge Zamasu is, like really putting effort into this and somehow getting pushed back. No, it's just, he's not giving a shit. He's smug and arrogant and just being a fucking shithead, and it came back to bite him in the ass for 1 second. And that's all it was. And I think this episode was fantastic. I think it is, like I said, the complete polar opposite of last week's episode. And that's all I really have to say about it. Fantastic episode, 10 out of 10. Fucking loved it. And because I know a lot of you people are going to ask me, hey Zion, but what about the next episode preview? You didn't say anything about the next episode preview. Which I get every so often whenever there's a big next episode preview. But I have never once mentioned anything in a next episode preview in a review. Why? Because this is a review of the episode. The next episode preview is like a teaser of the next episode. I don't give a shit about the fucking teaser. I care about about the fucking episode. Yeah, you can show me cool shit. Doesn't mean it's going to end up actually being cool shit. The next episode preview for episode 64 made that episode look fucking cool as shit and ended up being absolute fucking garbage. So, I'm not going to put in my fucking 2 cents whatsoever. I don't have an opinion. I'm not going to get fucking hyped. If you want a hype man, go find someone else. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to evaluate and critique what has been put out, like an actual episode. You can show me some cool fucking clips of animation, but unless the actual episode works as a whole, I don't care. I'm not going to get hyped, because every time I get hyped, I get disappointed, first off. Secondly, it's cool. Like, I mean, we all knew this was going to fucking happen. How, like, you can't have this many Patara earrings floating around in an episode or in an arc and expect this shit to not happen. So, that's my stance on it. I'm not fucking, making a statement on it one way or the other than just saying I'm not going to make the fucking statement. And I'm leaving it at that. Alright? We cool? Till next time, Xeon, out.